Welcome back to my channel. Now here recently I made a budget video where I went to Aldi and Food Giant and tried to keep it at a $25 budget. Kind of busted that budget. It was $26 and some change, so not too bad. But today I'm going to take you back in the store with me. Now I also made a video before that one about my top 15 pantry staple items. Now if you haven't seen either one of those videos, as I'm saying something about them, they'll be linked up in the corner up there, but I will also link them in the description box. Just in case you want to go watch those, because it may give you a little clarification on why I'm doing this video the way I'm doing it. In today's video, I'm going to be shopping the sale at Publix. Now I'm going to try to keep the products that I purchase to only the sale items, if at all possible, so that I can show you how shopping the sales can help you stretch your budget. Now when you shop like this, you're going to be shopping your pantry and your refrigerator and freezer at home first. So that does actually mean not just your pantry staples. Most grocery stores these days do have digital coupons online that you can clip. So once you get your account made, you can go into the digital coupons, check them out, clip coupons in case there's an item that you need that's on sale. You can use that coupon also. And if you have any paper coupons, make sure you print those out before you go to the store. But now if you're doing a delivery or a pickup order, you will not be able to use a paper coupon. And I do understand that some stores no longer take paper coupons. Just so happens Publix does, and that's where I'm going shopping today. So I went online last night. I checked out that ad for this past week because I'm catching the last part of the sale. So you won't be able to get these items at your Publix when you do see this, but I'm just trying to give you an idea of how to shop to be able to maximize your savings and to be able to stretch your food budget just a little bit further. So I have went to my account online at Publix and I clipped all the coupons. I always clip every coupon they have because there is no maximum amount. You can clip them all. I checked out their ad really well, even their extra ad that they have that runs for 2 weeks. And I have chosen items based on that and what I have in my pantry. And we're going to go shopping today. I'm going to take you in the store with me and we're going to go check out some of these BOGO deals, see what we can get. So come on, go with me and let's go to Publix. We've got some shopping to do. That one's better for you anyway. I'm going to get this one. I absolutely love this store. They have such a great selection. So here's what my cart's looking like so far. We've still got a little more shopping to do. I'm on the hunt for the ground chicken. I just passed it. We'll have to go back. We are going to be eating good this week. And for hopefully no more than about $30. But we're not finished. Let's get us a pizza. we are even getting cookies. And we've got to have some cheese, so now it's just figuring out which one we want. Do I get this too? Because I am planning on doing some Mexican. I don't know if it's going to bust my budget or not. I'm going to get it. Maybe it won't. Okay, this is what we're looking like. I hope we don't go over $30 because I do have to include the price of my eggs in there also. Let's go find out. I can't forget to give them these coupons when I get up there. We got to save every penny we can. Okay, I'm back home. Got everything unloaded. This is everything I bought for the week. Now keep in mind, I am using pantry staple items that I always have on hand, which is why I made the other video, because it's very important to keep rice and beans and canned veggies and things like that on hand at all times. Then you're able to shop these sales. And this was at Publix, guys. So if anybody has a Publix, you know how expensive things are there. But I only shop the sales, okay? And that's how I'm able to stay within a budget. So I got a Tombstone pizza, and that will be multiple meals. I'm going to show you what we're going to do with that here after we go over this. You could cook it and then just eat it for 2 or 3 days, but that's not how I like to do it. I like my pizza fresh, and I may not want it the next day. So I'm going to show you what I'm going to do with that. But I have a 4-meat pizza that was on BOGO. Have some tortilla chips, BOGO. The Chosen Foods Classic Ranch, it was BOGO. That was not on my list, but when I saw that it was BOGO, I said, hey, maybe I can stay within my budget because I'm planning on doing some Mexican, and that would be great to top it with. I have ground chicken. This was on BOGO, and I had $1.50 off each one, paper coupon. Those buns were BOGO, and there's a lot you can do with hamburger buns, guys, okay? You don't just use them for hamburgers. You can use them for breakfast sandwiches, grill it up. You can use it for garlic toast, garlic bread. Lots of things you can do with it besides just a hamburger. I wanted some lettuce and some tomatoes and a cucumber. Now the cucumber was not BOGO, but I think it was only 99 cents. The lettuce was $1.50 on sale, and these were BOGO. The fresh green beans were BOGO. The breakfast sausage was BOGO. And I'm not a huge fan of cheddar cheese, but this brand didn't have anything but the different cheddars. And this one is a white cheddar. I can handle that one just a little bit better than the others. I'm not sure why, but we even have cookies, okay? And I'm going to show y'all how you do these in the air fryer. And you don't cook them all at one time. Now that's how you keep within your budget. I know it's a whole pack of cookies, but it's 24 cookies, and it's the small ones. So take out 3 or 4, pop them in your air fryer if you have one, oven if you don't. Cook them up. You keep the rest of them in the refrigerator in a zippy bag until you're ready to cook them. That way you're not tempted to eat them all the time, all day long. But that's it, okay? This was what I purchased, and this is what I paid. Before tax was $27.29. Okay, I do need to add in a dozen eggs because I'll be using a dozen eggs. And the dozen eggs there for the large, they were $3.79, which is going to bring my total before tax to $31.08. I busted my budget again, this time by $1.08. If I had not bought that, I would have been under budget. But that was just a splurge, and that does happen in real life. This is one of the meals I'll be making. I'm going to be making a breakfast sandwich. So that's one good way of using your buns. They're great for breakfast sandwiches. We're going to use some of our sausage, 1 egg, and I'll actually slice off some of the cheese to go on the sandwich. And we're going to grill it this morning. I've patted me out some of my sausage, and I did a rather large piece because I want it to fit my hamburger bun. And we're just going to get this cooked up. Now I've got my bun and I put butter on both sides. I'm going to start with it face down. Okay, I've flipped my bun over and I've just sliced me some cheese. I'm going to put 2 little slices on the bottom. And I'm going to put my sausage right on top of it. And right over here beside it, I'm going to go ahead and cook my egg. Added a little salt, a little pepper. Okay, my egg is done, so we're going to build our sandwich. We've got our bun, our sausage, our egg. I've got 2 more little small pieces of cheese. I'm going to put those on top of the egg. I'm going to put my top bun on. And there you go. That is one great way to use the hamburger buns that we got on our BOGO sale. There's the inside. I'm going to go eat my sandwich. Okay, I'm going to be cooking up some of my ground chicken. This is the Springer Mountain Farm that we got on BOGO. And I had a coupon, so I paid $1.50 for this whole pound package. I've got some oil in my pan back here. Because if you've ever dealt with ground chicken, you know there's not a lot of fat on this at all. So, depending on what you're cooking, you may want to use a little oil. I'm just going to be browning this up like you would hamburger or pork. Now, I'm not going to be eating this whole pound in one meal, but I am going to have multiple meals that is going to require it to be browned up like this. So I'm going to go in with basic seasoning on this entire thing. So we're going in with some salt, black pepper, garlic powder, and some onion powder. Get those seasonings all mixed in. And we're going to get this cooked up. Now while my chicken's cooking up over here, I'm going to take my head of lettuce. I'm going to cut a little bit of it off, get it washed up, and I'm going to go ahead and get it cut up how I want it. I'm also going to take a few of my little one sweet tomatoes, and I'm going to get those washed, and I'm going to get those cut up also. I'm going to take some of my tortilla chips, put them in my bowl. Okay, my chicken is done. I've taken out about 2/3 of it. I've put it in this ramekin, and I'm going to set that to the side and let it cool off. That will be used for future meals. This one, however, is going to be used for a taco salad. So this part is done. I am going to add in a little bit of Worcestershire sauce. I have cut up some onion and jalapeno, which are things that I always have on hand, and we're going to dump that in. Just get that mixed in with it. So let that just cook up for a few minutes. I've added a little bit of water in and some taco seasoning. I'm just getting all that stirred up in there, and I'm going to let this simmer for just a few minutes. And then we'll get our taco salad completely put together. I'm going to melt some of this down in the microwave so I can pour it over the top of my taco salad. Okay, so far I've got it built. Chips, lettuce. I'm going to put the chicken on next, then our tomatoes, then our cheese. There's my chicken taco salad. Looks delicious. I'm going to go eat. Now don't forget, we treated ourselves this week to some cookie dough. And I'm going to make probably about 4 of these cookies. There's 24 to a pack, so if you did 4 cookies a day, that would be 6 days worth of cookies. I'm not going to cook them all at once because that's just too much of a temptation. And I'm going to be using the air fryer to cook these in. So I'm not heating the oven up for 4 cookies. And it's going to be quick and simple. I'm going to show you what to do. You want to line your air fryer basket with parchment paper or an air fryer liner. Now mine are the smaller regular size cookies. You want to take however many you're going to cook and you're going to place them in your air fryer. You're going to make sure that they're spaced apart so that they have room to spread. And there they are. Now I am going to be cooking mine on 350 degrees for about 5 minutes. We'll check back on them in a few. Now these took a total of 8 minutes, and you're going to take your air fryer basket completely out and set it over to the side, and you're going to let that cool for 8 minutes before you take them off of the parchment paper. This is what they look like after 8 minutes, and mine are shaped like that because my paper got all up in the way. So here you have your air fryer cookies. $350 degrees in an air fryer for around 8 minutes. Day 2 breakfast, basically the same as yesterday. The only difference is I'm not cooking it on the griddle this morning, but I do have me a sausage patty. And this morning I have 2 eggs, and I'm going to scramble these eggs instead of frying them. And I'm going to be using one of these buns, and I'm not going to grill it today. And here's my sandwich. I've got more eggs than I needed, but that's okay. I'll eat those with a fork. Okay, today I'm going to have some pizza. Now, this is a 20-ounce pizza, and I'm not going to cook the whole thing. I'm going to show you what I do with a frozen pizza when I'm just going to be cooking it for one person. I take me a knife, and I'm going to cut this pizza in quarters. So I've cut my pizza in quarters, and I'm going to cook this one right here. I've got my oven preheating at 400 degrees, and I'm going to cook it for about 20 minutes, or until it's done. But I've taken the other quarters, and I've put them in their own quart-size freezer bag, and I'm going to stick these back in the freezer. That way I don't have to cook a whole pizza at one time and waste part of it, or have to eat cold pizza or reheat it. I don't like cold pizza, and I don't really care for it reheated. I would rather cook it fresh. And I'm going to be eating my pizza today with a salad, so that's why I'm only eating a quarter of the pizza. That with a salad will be plenty of food. And if I do the same with the other 3, that one pizza that I got on a BOGO sale for $2 and some change is going to feed me 4 different meals. And as far as the directions go, if you don't feel like you'll be able to remember the directions for later use, you can always just cut that out and keep it close by. Or you can actually go online and Google how long to cook whatever pizza it is you purchased, and you will find the directions online. And here you go. You have a delicious pizza with salad meal for one person. The salad is the lettuce, cucumber, the little grape tomatoes, some of my cheese that I shredded, and the salad dressing that we got BOGO. So you can do this 4 times with one pizza. I still have at least half a head of lettuce left. I've used it once in a taco salad and now for this salad. So there you go. Now we're going to take some of our ground chicken that I browned up that I had left over, and I'm going to make a homemade sloppy joe. For my side for my sloppy joe, I'm going to be making some air fried green beans. I'm going to start with my air fried green beans. Now I took my green beans, they've been washed, patted dry. I have put some olive oil on them and, you know, tossed them around. I'm going to add a little bit of pepper to them. And I'm going to be adding some of this garlic Parmesan seasoning on. It already has salt in it, garlic powder, Parmesan seasonings, just other things, but it didn't have pepper, so that's why I added that. I'm going to sprinkle some on, get them coated, pop them in the air fryer on 400 degrees for 5 minutes. And I have a correction to make. These are ready to go. They're in the air fryer basket. I said for 5 minutes at 400 degrees. Terribly sorry. That's 400 degrees for 8 to 10 minutes. You are supposed to preheat for 5 minutes. Mine was already preheated. So 8 to 10 minutes on 400 degrees. Check them halfway through. Give them a little shaky shake and pop them back in. To get my sloppy joe mix started, I have got me an iron skillet. I put some olive oil in it. I cut up some onion and some jalapeno. Now you can use bell pepper. I don't have any. And I put a cube of this garlic in there. I'm just going to let those veggies kind of cook up and soften a little bit. And then we'll get our meat added in. Okay, so I've added about half of my ground chicken that's already cooked into the skillet with the peppers and onions. I'm just going to get that heated through. Alright, in a small bowl I have combined 1/3 cup of water, a 1/2 tablespoon of brown sugar, a teaspoon of yellow mustard, 1/4 teaspoon of chili powder. I did not add salt even though it called for it, because you also add in a 1/2 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, 1/8 teaspoon of black pepper, and some ketchup. I didn't measure my ketchup, I just poured it in. So we're going to add this to the chicken back here. Now I do have a little too much sauce for the amount of chicken that I have in here, and that's fine. I'm just going to let it cook down, so I'm going to let it simmer for just a little bit. It has really reduced down. That is ready. Let's get this sloppy joe made. So far I've only used 2 of my buns, so I have plenty of bread. We're going to use one of these. And here's my sloppy joe and air fryer green beans. Makes for a delicious meal. Okay, for today's meal I'm going to be using up the rest of that 1 pound of chicken that I browned up. I'm going to be cooking some egg noodles, and I'm going to make me a sauce. I've got some tomato sauce, and I've got onion powder, Italian seasoning, crushed red pepper, black pepper, and I'm going to be using some buttery garlic and herb seasoning. And I have one of my buns. I'm going to make me some garlic bread with that. My egg noodles are finished. My sauce is ready. I added my chicken into it. I'm just waiting on my bread. I'm going to get my noodles mixed into my sauce. And we're fixing to have a delicious meal. And here I have a delicious meal of pasta with ground chicken and some garlic bread. We still have 4 buns left. I still have another pound of chicken left. I still have some ground sausage left. I still have 3 days worth of pizza left. And I still have salad fixings left, and I also have cookies. So this food is going a long way. I've still got sausage left, so I'm going to brown some of this up in this skillet back here. I'm getting my sausage all browned up. I'm going to toast me up a bun. I'm going to make some gravy in just a minute, and that's going to be my breakfast. I'm going to have gravy over toast. I'm cooking that raw flour taste out of my flour. Next we'll add some milk. I'm going to add a little salt, a little black pepper, my gravy's looking like it is probably ready. My toast is ready. So let me get this on a plate. There you go. Sausage gravy over toast. Makes a great brunch. Now I'm not sure what all I'm going to be making with the rest of this ground chicken. This is the second pack. But I do know that I'm going to brown it up like I did the first one. And I'm just going to season it with salt and pepper and probably some Worcestershire sauce. And then I'll decide from there what I'm going to be cooking with it. I decided to go ahead and add some onion powder. I normally cook with that anyway. And some garlic powder. I'm going to go ahead and add in my Worcestershire sauce. Here's my ground chicken all browned up. I put it in a bowl. I'm going to set it to the side for a minute. I've got to figure out what I'm cooking for my dinner tonight with it. Then we'll go from there. For this next meal, I'm going to take some of my ground chicken that I browned up, and I am going to cook some rice. I've got some water on the stove now. So I will be making enough here for 2 days. I'll be using just minute rice, which is what I always use. I always have on hand in my pantry. I've added some salt to my water. I'm going to bring it to a boil. I'm going to add my rice in, put a lid on it, and take it off the heat. And I'm going to let it sit between 5 and 10 minutes. Now, while my rice is over there sitting and doing its thing, I'm going to make a sauce because we're going to be making a sticky buffalo chicken bowl. To my saucepan back here, I'm going to add some monk fruit golden, which is just like brown sugar. I'm just going to add the rest of what I have in here. You use brown sugar if that's what you have. Now I'm going to be adding in just a little bit of rice vinegar. You can use apple cider vinegar if you don't have rice vinegar. Probably about a tablespoon is what I used. I'm going to add in some ground ginger. I'm going to add in a little bit of garlic powder, a little bit of salt, some black pepper, some red pepper flakes. I'm going to add in some of my wing sauce, this buttery buffalo. You need some type of buffalo sauce. I'm going in with a little bit of honey. Now I've turned this on a medium heat. I'm going to get this all mixed up together. And I want this to not come to a boil, but I do want it to get nice and hot. And then we're going to add our ground chicken in. I'm going to go ahead and add in my ground up chicken. It's already cooked. I'm going to get that mixed up really good in that sauce. And I'm going to let that chicken heat all the way through because it was cold. I just got it out of the fridge. Here's my rice, all nice and fluffy. This is enough for a couple of days. So I'm going to get this in my bowl. I did add some butter to it. Let's get this dished up. I'm going to start with some rice. We've got our chicken and our sauce right here. That's going on next. I'm going to add a little green onion to the top of mine. And I got some sesame seeds. There you go. Let's go give this a taste. Okay, y'all. We have here a sticky buffalo chicken bowl. Okay? This looks and smells delicious. I tasted the sauce before I put it on to make sure it didn't need any extra seasonings or any more honey or anything like that. It tastes great. So we're going to give this a taste. It's supposed to be both sweet and spicy, so we'll see. I'm actually eating mine with a spoon because I don't want to miss anything. Okay, here goes. Okay. I'm getting all the flavors. That's good. I taste the heat. I taste the sweet. It's got a nice kick to it. But it's also got that sweetness. This is really good. Nice budget-friendly meal. I'm gonna go eat. For today's brunch, I think I'm gonna take one of the buns and I'm gonna take an egg and I'm gonna make some French toast with one of my buns today. So I've got one egg, a little bit of milk, gonna add about a half a teaspoon of vanilla, a little bit of cinnamon, yummy French toast made with a hamburger bun. Hey y'all, I got my French toast right here I made with my hamburger bun. We're going to give it a taste. That's delicious. I'm going to go eat my French toast. Now I'm going to take the rest of my rice that I made up yesterday and I'm going to take some more of my ground chicken and we're going to make a very tasty chicken fried rice. I got got me a little oil in my pan back here, and I'm going to take this onion that needs to be used up. And I'm just going to chop me some of this onion up in this pan. Now I'm going to add me in one of these little 8.5 ounce cans of peas and carrots. Now I keep these in my pantry. I also keep frozen peas and carrots in my freezer all the time too, because they come in so handy for helping to create very flavorful dishes. I'm going to add in my ground chicken that I browned up already. I'm going to go ahead and season this up a bit. So we're going to add in some black pepper, onion powder, garlic powder, and for a little kick I'm going to add in a little bit of red pepper flakes. Get it all incorporated. I didn't have very much oil in this pan to begin with, so I'm going to add a little bit more oil. And I'm going to go ahead and add in my rice. Now this is going to make enough to eat 2 different times. I'm just going to start frying this rice up. I'm just going to get it all good and combined. Get that rice mixed in with that chicken and those veggies. Now you can do yours how you want to, but I always make a little well in the center of my fried rice. And I add me a little bit of oil. And I'm going to crack my egg in there. And I'm just going to start scrambling that egg up. And once it starts cooking up, I'm just going to mix it in with the rice and veggies. And now you can add in more than 1 egg if you want to. If it's in your budget, go for it. But I am working on a strict budget here, just using what I have at home and the $30 worth of food, or $31 worth of food that I purchased on BOGO at Publix. So I think we're eating pretty good to have only spent $31 at the grocery store this week. I'm going to add a little soy sauce. Like I said, this is at least 2 days worth of food. Here we go. I'm going to dress it up just a little bit. I'm going to add on some sesame seeds. Now you don't have to add these. I keep these, so I always have them. And I'm going to add a little bit of green onion. Now all these things right here are optional. And I'm going to add me on a little bit of Cholula. So there you go, a nice dinner. And I have enough for another meal for tomorrow. I've got about a half a roll of my breakfast sausage left. So this morning I'm going to go ahead and patty the rest of it up and get it cooked up for breakfast, because I don't want it to go bad or start going bad. So I'm going to go ahead and get it cooked up and I can eat it for multiple days. Okay, I've got my little 6-inch skillet. I'm going to use the rest of my ground chicken today. I'm just going to put it in this skillet with a little bit of oil. And we're going to let that heat up. And I want it to crisp up just a little bit. I had a little bit of onion that needed to be used, so I have cut that up in little small pieces and added it into my ground chicken. This is starting to crisp up a little bit and heat through. I'm going to add about 1/8 of a cup of water. And I'm going to add some of this fajita seasoning mix. Now, you can use taco mix. If you don't have any of those, you can use chili powder with cumin, onion powder, some garlic powder, a little bit of oregano, some paprika. Mix all those things in, and you will have you a taco seasoning. I have ran out of my homemade, and I don't want to make any right now, so I'm just going to use this. I'm going to let it continue to cook until the liquid cooks out. Now, it took me a couple of taco shells, the standing stuff ones, and that's something I keep in my pantry. Some people wait until they want a taco to buy taco shells. I do not do that because I know at some point I'm going to want some tacos. So I always keep taco shells in my pantry. Just because you are not going to eat it right then doesn't mean that you can't buy it and put it in your pantry for later use. Just look at your dates. Make sure that it's far enough out that you know you'll be eating tacos in that time. Buy them and keep them in the pantry. So if all of a sudden you want a taco, bam, you got a taco shell. Plus, if you have a well-stocked pantry with your flour and you have salt and you've got water, you can make you some tortillas, some homemade tortillas, and you can make you some homemade tacos with those tortillas. So that is another option if you don't have a taco shell. That's why you need to keep flour in your pantry at all times. I popped my taco shells into the air fryer for just a couple of minutes just to get them heated up and crispy. I crumbled up a little bit of my cheese and I put in the very bottom. Now we're going to add some of our taco meat. Going to add on some cheese. I just took my cheese and just kind of crumbled it. Add on some lettuce. Add on some little tomatoes that I've cut up. Add a little taco sauce on. I always have taco sauce. It's another one of those things I keep. And I'm good to go. 2 chicken tacos. That's going to be it for today's video. So I took you in the store shopping with me and showed you how I shop. I always shop the sales because that's where you're going to find some of your very best deals. Now, some grocery stores have marked down meat. I know Aldi does that sometimes. They'll have 30% off or 50% off. And those are great deals because the meat is still good. So if you can find it at 30% or 50% off, buy it, take it home, put it directly in your freezer. Just because you buy something that day doesn't mean that you have to eat it within 2 or 3 days. That's what they make a freezer for. But that's how I shop. And if you have a well-stocked pantry, then shopping those sales is going to be even better for you. You can see what you have at home already in your freezer, fridge, and pantry. Look at your sale ad. You can look at them online most of the time. See what's on sale and see what you can purchase on sale that can go with what you have at home already to make meals. I'll probably do a video in the future at some point where I show you how, as one person or as 2 people, you can take these items home from the grocery store when you find them on sale, and you can repackage them to freeze for 1 or 2 people, so you're not having to cook an entire package of something when you don't need it. That way, if you're only cooking what you need for that meal, you're not wasting any food or feeling like you have to eat this same thing for 5 or 6 days. Packaging your items for freezer storage like I did with the pizza, it just frees you from having to eat the same thing over and over every day. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please go give it a thumbs up. Share the video with your friends and family. And make sure to leave me a comment down below. Let me know how you shop. And let me know if there's anything you learned from this video as far as how to shop the sales. Make those dollars stretch, and I'll see you in the next video.